Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and important: the difference between nuclear weapons and nuclear power. It's a subject that often sparks debate and raises questions, so we're here to break it down for you. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our videos. Now grab your favorite drink and let's get started. The dawn of the atomic age. Our story begins in the early 1900s. Physicists discovered that the atom, once thought to be indivisible, actually contained a nucleus teeming with unimaginable energy. This realization would forever alter the course of history. Scientists like Albert Einstein, with his famous equation E=mc², revealed the staggering amounts of energy locked within the atom's core. This revelation carried the seeds of a more ominous possibility: the creation of weapons of unprecedented destructive power. The potential benefits of this newfound atomic power were tantalizing: abundant energy, revolutionary medical treatments, and a deeper understanding of the universe itself. However, the potential for destruction cast a long shadow over these aspirations. Unleashing the power within. At the heart of both nuclear weapons and nuclear power lies the extraordinary energy released during nuclear reactions. These reactions delve into the very core of the atom, the nucleus, where protons and neutrons reside. There are two primary types of nuclear reactions: fission and fusion. Nuclear fission involves splitting a heavy atom's nucleus, such as uranium or plutonium, into lighter elements, releasing an immense burst of energy. Nuclear fusion involves combining the nuclei of light elements, such as hydrogen isotopes, to form heavier ones, releasing even more energy than fission. From theory to reality, the theoretical understanding of nuclear energy quickly transitioned into practical applications. The urgency of World War II spurred the development of the first atomic bombs, a testament to human ingenuity, albeit one with devastating consequences. The aftermath of the war ushered in a new era, the atomic age. The world faced a daunting challenge: how to harness this incredible force for the betterment of humanity while mitigating its capacity for unparalleled destruction. To truly grasp the difference between nuclear weapons and nuclear power, we need to delve into the heart of the matter, literally. Imagine a bustling city. The atom's outer limits, where electrons whiz around like cars on a highway, represent this city's vast expanse. But the true action lies deep within, in the city's central power plant, the nucleus. Here, protons and neutrons are bound together by the strong nuclear force. When we tamper with this force, we tap into an incredible reservoir of energy, a force that dwarfs anything we can achieve through chemical reactions like burning fossil fuels. Let's talk about nuclear fission first. Imagine a fragile house of cards, precariously balanced. When a neutron strikes the nucleus of a uranium atom, it's like flicking one of those cards, causing the entire structure to collapse. The uranium nucleus splits, releasing a tremendous burst of energy and more neutrons. These newly liberated neutrons can then go on to strike other uranium nuclei, triggering a cascade of fission events. This self-sustaining chain reaction is the heart of both nuclear weapons and nuclear power. In a nuclear reactor, we want to slow down and control this chain reaction, harnessing a steady stream of energy. Think of a nuclear reactor as a carefully controlled campfire. We add fuel, uranium, gradually, and we use control rods to absorb neutrons and keep the chain reaction from spiraling out of control. The heat generated by this controlled fission heats water into steam, which drives turbines to generate electricity. Nuclear weapons, on the other hand, are designed for uncontrolled explosive release of energy. Nuclear fusion, the power of the stars. Instead of splitting atoms, fusion involves forcing the nuclei of light elements, like hydrogen isotopes, to overcome their natural repulsion and fuse together, creating heavier elements and releasing even more energy than fission. Imagine trying to push two powerful magnets together with their same poles facing each other. It takes an incredible amount of force to overcome that repulsion. In stars, the intense gravity and heat provide the conditions necessary for fusion to occur. On Earth, we're still working on achieving sustained fusion reactions, which hold the promise of a nearly limitless, clean energy source. If we can crack the code of fusion, we can unlock a clean and virtually inexhaustible source of energy. The heart of the matter nuclear reactors. Our journey takes us inside a nuclear reactor, the heart of a nuclear power plant. Imagine a massive, heavily reinforced steel container. This is the reactor vessel, designed to withstand the immense heat and pressure generated by nuclear fission. Inside this vessel, we find the fuel rods, long, slender tubes containing pellets of enriched uranium. These rods are carefully arranged in a geometric pattern, creating a controlled chain reaction when neutrons start bombarding the uranium atoms. Surrounding the fuel rods is the coolant, typically water, which circulates throughout the reactor core, absorbing the heat generated by fission. From fission to electricity, the power plant's symphony. The process of generating electricity in a nuclear power plant is remarkably similar to that of a conventional coal-fired power plant, with one key difference: the heat source. As the superheated water from the reactor core flows through a closed loop, it enters a heat exchanger, where it turns another water supply into steam. This steam, under immense pressure, spins massive turbines connected to generators. These generators produce electricity which then flows through transformers, increasing its voltage for efficient transmission over long distances. Safety first, containing the power. Nuclear power plants are among the most heavily regulated and safest energy facilities in the world. Multiple layers of safety systems and protocols are in place to prevent accidents and protect the environment and public health. The reactor vessel itself is housed within a massive concrete containment structure designed to withstand even the most extreme scenarios. This containment structure acts as a barrier, preventing the release of radioactive material. Sophisticated control systems constantly monitor the reactor's operations, adjusting the position of control rods to regulate the chain reaction and ensure it remains within safe limits. The nuclear fuel cycle, a continuous loop. The nuclear fuel cycle doesn't end with the generation of electricity. After spending several years inside a reactor, the uranium fuel rods become depleted and need to be replaced. These spent fuel rods, still highly radioactive, are carefully removed and stored in special cooling pools on site. While some countries reprocess spent fuel to extract usable uranium and plutonium, reducing the volume of waste, others opt for long-term storage in secure geological repositories. Managing nuclear waste responsibly is crucial to ensure the long-term safety and sustainability of nuclear power. Researchers are continuously exploring new technologies and strategies to improve waste management practices. The destructive side of the atom: nuclear weapons. While nuclear power harnesses the atom for peaceful purposes, nuclear weapons exploit its destructive potential on a terrifying scale. These weapons, born out of conflict and driven by a dangerous arms race, represent the darkest chapter in the story of nuclear technology. Unlike nuclear reactors, which are designed to control and sustain a slow, steady chain reaction, nuclear weapons are engineered for uncontrolled, instantaneous release of energy. They are instruments of mass destruction, capable of obliterating entire cities in a blinding flash. The world watched in horror as the first atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan, in 1945, demonstrated the devastating power of these weapons. Uncontrolled fission, the making of an atomic bomb. At the heart of an atomic bomb lies a simple yet terrifying principle: uncontrolled nuclear fission. By rapidly assembling a supercritical mass of highly enriched uranium or plutonium, a chain reaction is triggered that releases an unimaginable amount of energy in a fraction of a second. Imagine a room filled with mousetraps, each loaded with a ping pong ball. If you throw one ping pong ball into the room, it will trigger a chain reaction, with mousetraps snapping and ping pong balls flying in all directions. The rapid fission of uranium or plutonium atoms releases a tremendous amount of energy in the form of heat, light, and radiation, creating a massive explosion. From fission to fusion, the thermonuclear leap. The development of atomic bombs was just the beginning. Scientists soon developed even more powerful weapons, thermonuclear bombs, also known as hydrogen bombs. Thermonuclear bombs utilize a two-stage process. First, a fission reaction creates the extreme temperatures and pressures necessary to trigger the second-stage nuclear fusion. This fusion reaction involves fusing together isotopes of hydrogen, such as deuterium and tritium, to create helium, releasing even more energy than fission. The devastating consequences, a legacy of fear. The destructive power of nuclear weapons extends far beyond the initial blast. The immediate effects of a nuclear explosion are horrific. A blinding flash of light, a searing heat wave, a devastating shock wave, and a massive fireball that vaporizes everything in its path. But the long-term consequences are equally terrifying. The explosion releases a massive amount of radiation, which can contaminate the environment and cause long-term health problems, including cancer, birth defects, and genetic mutations. The threat of nuclear annihilation hangs over humanity like a dark cloud, a constant reminder of our capacity for self-destruction. The nuclear threat, a shadow over humanity. The proliferation of nuclear weapons remains one of the most pressing threats facing humanity. While the end of the Cold War eased tensions between the United States and Russia, the risk of nuclear conflict remains. The emergence of new nuclear powers, such as North Korea, and the potential for terrorist groups to acquire nuclear materials adds to the complexity and danger of the situation. The international community faces the daunting challenge of preventing nuclear proliferation and working towards a world free of nuclear weapons. A nuclear war, even on a limited scale, would have catastrophic consequences for humanity and the planet. The power of the atom, a double-edged sword. As we've seen, the atom's power is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it holds the potential to provide clean, abundant energy, meeting the growing needs of a world grappling with climate change. On the other hand, it has the capacity for unimaginable destruction, a sobering reminder of the stakes involved. Nuclear energy presents a unique dilemma. It's a technology that inspires both hope and fear, a testament to human ingenuity and a stark warning about our capacity for self-destruction. The decision of whether or not to embrace nuclear power requires careful consideration of the potential benefits and risks. The promise of nuclear power, a clean energy future. Nuclear power plants generate electricity without emitting greenhouse gases. Unlike fossil fuels, nuclear fission has a smaller carbon footprint. This makes nuclear power an attractive option for reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. Moreover, nuclear power plants are incredibly efficient. A small amount of uranium fuel generates a tremendous amount of electricity. This efficiency translates into a smaller land footprint for power generation. Nuclear power plants also offer a reliable source of baseload power. Despite its advantages, nuclear power faces significant challenges: safety, waste disposal, and proliferation. Addressing these is crucial for nuclear energy's future. Chernobyl and Fukushima remind us of nuclear power's dangers. Modern reactors are safer, but accidents can still happen. Radioactive waste disposal remains a major challenge. Nuclear technology can be diverted for weapons, raising proliferation concerns. Weighing the risks and rewards, a complex equation. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to embrace nuclear power is a complex one with no easy answers. It requires carefully weighing the potential benefits against the risks, considering the availability of alternative energy sources, and engaging in open and informed public discussions. Some argue that the benefits of nuclear power, particularly its potential to combat climate change, outweigh the risks. They advocate for continued investment in nuclear energy, including the development of safer and more advanced reactor designs. Others remain skeptical, highlighting the potential for accidents, the challenges of waste disposal, and the risks of nuclear proliferation. They argue that focusing on renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and geothermal offers a more sustainable and less risky path forward. The debate over nuclear power is likely to continue for the foreseeable future. The shadow of deterrence: nuclear weapons and global security. Now let's shift our focus to the unsettling role nuclear weapons play in global security. It's a world shadowed by their existence, where the very weapons meant to deter conflict also hold the power to end civilization as we know it. Since the end of World War II, we've lived under the umbrella of nuclear deterrence, a concept both unsettling and strangely reassuring. The idea is that the sheer destructive power of nuclear weapons acts as a deterrent, preventing nations from engaging in large-scale conflicts. The logic is, in a way, a terrifying game of chicken. If one nation launches a nuclear attack, the other will retaliate in kind, leading to mutually assured destruction, a chilling acronym, MAD. This potential for apocalyptic consequences, the theory goes, prevents any rational actor from making the first move. It's a paradox, isn't it? The most destructive weapons ever created, weapons capable of inflicting unimaginable suffering, somehow become tools of peace, or at least tools to prevent large-scale war. And to some extent, deterrence has worked. We haven't seen a repeat of the devastating world wars that ravaged the 20th century, but can we truly attribute this solely to nuclear weapons? Or are there other factors at play, like international diplomacy, economic interdependence, and the fear of conventional warfare itself? The problem with deterrence is that it relies on a delicate balance of terror, a shared understanding of the stakes, and a rational assessment of risk by all parties involved. But what happens when rationality breaks down? What happens when emotions run high, when miscalculations occur, or when new actors enter the equation? History is replete with near misses and moments when the world stood on the brink of nuclear disaster. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 stands as a chilling reminder of how easily things can spiral out of control. Accidents happen. Technical malfunctions and human error can trigger a nuclear crisis. Imagine a radar system malfunction detecting a false incoming missile launch. The pressure to retaliate would be immense. The fog of war amplifies these risks. The ideal solution is a world free of nuclear weapons. It's a dream shared by many, a vision of a safer future. But achieving this goal is a monumental challenge. It requires overcoming mistrust and addressing security concerns. The Non-Proliferation Treaty is a step in the right direction, but more needs to be done. We need continued dialogue and cooperation, and a fundamental shift in our thinking. True security lies in mutual understanding and peace. The story of nuclear technology is far from over. It continues to unfold, shaped by our choices and innovations. We stand at a pivotal moment in history. Our decisions today will have far-reaching consequences. Will we harness the atom's power responsibly, or will fear and mistrust lead us to conflict? The stakes could not be higher. We cannot afford to be passive observers. Engage in informed discussions and advocate for peace and sustainability. A future shaped by choices. The future of nuclear technology is not predetermined. It is a future we will write together through the choices we make. We can choose diplomacy and disarmament, or embrace a cleaner, sustainable future with renewable energy. The path forward requires collaboration and innovation. Our shared responsibility. The power of the atom is a shared inheritance, a responsibility that falls upon all of us. It is a responsibility to understand the science, to engage in informed debate, and to demand accountability from our leaders. It is a responsibility to educate ourselves and future generations about the potential benefits and risks of nuclear technology, to foster a culture of peace and understanding, and to work tirelessly towards a world where the atom's power is used solely for good. We must remember that the story of nuclear technology is ultimately a human story. It is a story about our ingenuity, our capacity for both great and terrible things, and our enduring hope for a better future. It is a story that will continue to be written by generations to come.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to activate the notification bell to stay updated with all the latest content.